Here's a segment from the latest edition of St. Charles Parish Today, a monthly local talk show.
If you follow the St. Charles Parish Animal Shelter on Facebook, then you know there's always something going on to promote those adorable, adoptable animals. Rescue runs, birthday parties, nursing home visits, and volunteer trainings have become routine for the shelter since early 2016. Here with us today to talk about these events and their importance for adoptable animals is Animal Control Supervisor Dr. Jena Troxler. Well, look, Jena, thanks for coming on. We're excited to have you.
Thanks, Tristan.
I mentioned a host of things in my intro, but I just want to kind of go over those because you guys have so many things going on for residents, and it's one of the most exciting departments, I think, for the general public. So let's just go right into it. The rescue runs. Tell us about what that is.
Well, thanks for thinking we're exciting. Our community has really joined in.
My mom thinks you're exciting.
Oh yeah,
So
I see
give
her
a
every
shout out.
Thursday. I see her, yeah, on Thursdays. So our rescue run was literally, we had a resident walk in when we started our volunteer program. She wasn't a volunteer yet, and her name is Rachel Melanson. And she said, I have an idea to gather the community, have them sign up for a dog, and have all of them out and running on Thursdays at 6 a.m. So while the staff cleans, the dogs are out, they're getting their exercise, they're getting socialized. And I said, sure, just develop the details. And we posted it, and the runs sell out every Monday within about 30 minutes of posting.
Half of my friends and family are there, so trust me, I see it.
We see them, and we expanded it. For the people that are trained, we have a team leader that's a senior rescue runner, and she team leads 3 Sundays a month. And so our staff was on board, and she comes out and leads, and the animals actually are going out on 3 Sundays a month as well.
And you touched upon it, but and we've talked about this before, it's good for the animals with socialization. And can you kind of get into that just from the doctor's perspective? Because I know it's more than just having a great time.
Well, you have to think we're a staff of 8 people at our shelter, and we operate 24/7. We have someone on call to deal with injured or loose animals in custody. So between cleaning possibly 160 cats a day in the summer and about 60 dogs, we do a lot in between to take care of the community. But we can't spend an hour with each pet that's at the shelter each day, and that's essential to make them good, socialized animals in a home and adoptable. So we really reached out to our community to help us do that, and they're on board. We've trained over 60 families, and we have very regular volunteers.
60 families in a very short amount of time.
Yes.
It's only been a few months.
It has. When I took the reins, I trained them all myself. Very occasionally I'm not there and a staff member takes over. So we want them trained well so they feel empowered to literally just walk in and get started, and they know what they can do. And so, yes, in about 6 months, we've trained that many.
All right, so next on my list is something I think even more exciting than the rescue runs, the birthday parties, or as you call them, birthday parties.
Yes.
What are these? What do these entail? Because it's kind of an exciting thing.
The idea developed is all of the staff and myself really see that education with the children is most important, because that changes their empathy for animals and how they'll treat them in the future, despite what they're exposed to in their families. Maybe we can reach them in the schools and coming to our shelter to volunteer. So the children that we see that volunteer love bringing their friends, and we all need party venues. So the idea developed, and we actually already had one with one of our well-versed volunteers. It went extremely well, and we actually have 2 more booked over the next month and a half. And really, for a fee of $375, that's the basic package, and it involves typically myself, the veterinarian there, and 5 staff members. And the shelter's closed, we give behind-the-scenes tours, and we actually have stations that the kids go to, and they really enjoy it. And we actually have a horse as well. And so on good weather, we actually do horse rides.
And it's got the educational aspect, it's fun, and some of that even goes to the dog park project that you guys are hoping to fund.
Yes, one of the missions was to cover our costs. Since we're a government agency, that must be done. But a portion of the proceeds goes to the dog park, because we really have the goal of having a place where we can socialize animals, let them off leash in a safe manner, and we're aiming for something adjacent to the shelter.
Awesome. Okay, so next, nursing home visits. Tell us about that.
Yes, the nursing home visits developed because I simply gave a seminar to the Rotary, and one of the leaders at that nursing home in Luling came to me and said, I have an idea. And we were on the same page. Staff and I had been thinking about how to integrate the elderly to help us with kitten care and things like that in the summer. So it developed into once a week on Wednesdays, 1:30 to 3:30. Staff brings animals to the seniors. And after that first day of us visiting, the next Wednesday they were all outside just waiting for us with smiles.
Well, yeah, it's probably really exciting for them.
Yes, so that's another venue that we've tapped.
Okay, and then lastly is the Give a Lick.
Give a Lick was an idea for me to be there on the weekend once a month to bring the community behind the entire shelter scenes. I train volunteers Wednesdays at 10:15. No one has to sign up, just come. But not everybody can make that because you work. So the idea was to have a Saturday a month to train volunteers to do behind the scenes and have some fun activities. So actually some children named it Give a Lick, and it really stuck. So every time you see on Facebook, golden retriever licking a bakery window, that's the day, that's the weekend we're doing it. So we post it on our website and on Facebook.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about some of the common issues that come up for animal control, the department, because you guys deal with some of the oddest situations, and tell us about that.
There's a lot of variety, and since I've been in this position, although I've been the vet for many years there, since I've been in this position, really getting a feel for the community and what they need. So on a normal day, we're taking calls for loose dogs, lost or lost dogs or cats, and potentially dangerous animals that we have to deal with the district attorney's office to contain. And we also have a degree of cruelty or neglect that we have to investigate. We deal with everything from farm animals to cats to dogs. And we have the wildlife side as well. We also take coyote calls and track them.
The alligator calls.
The alligator nuisance, yes. We speak a lot with wildlife and fisheries because although I'm a vet, I get the best recommendations from the higher ups when I'm dealing with nuisance wildlife. For actually coyotes, it's about to be breeding season. So hazing is huge. If you see one, throw things at it, make noise, flash lights, until it's gone and they get scared and they don't want to come back. We have the forest, we have the habitat, so they are around always, and you just see them more during breeding season. Keep your pets indoors, keep your trash put up, and take the fruit from your trees and pick it up because they're drawn to that. We have another type of wildlife side that we deal with. It's wildlife to us, but it's not native wildlife, and that's wild cats.
No.
We get a lot of calls. You hear me talk about cats a lot. So we actually started in conjunction with the St. Charles Humane Society. They actually support and fund a program that for free we spay, neuter, rabies vaccinate, since that's a public health concern, and microchip wild cats. We have residents that have these in their areas, but no one claims them as a pet. They can't live indoors because they are not socialized animals. And this is where the majority of our kittens come from. People always feel badly for little kittens and bring them to the shelter, but no longer do we just take that kitten and not facilitate a spay and neuter for where that kitten came from. So in a very short time, our team...
It's kind of a long-term solution.
Long-term. It typically takes about 6 years to see the impact, but with the type of technique we're using, we are actually ran data for the past 10 months. Whichever areas brought us the most kittens, we have 2 very friendly staff members that are literally door to door figuring out where the cats are coming from, and to help solve that problem, spay and neuter, so we're not getting that huge influx of kittens in 1 month. This is our 1 down month, so they're working hard on those projects. Residents are receptive. I've spayed and neutered 90 of them in a very short time, and we've only had complaints on 2 of them. So I get that question a lot, why is the cat above the leash law? But when you go and ask, everyone says, it's not my pet.
Right, because it's, yeah.
It's as wild as a raccoon or a possum to us. So in that realm, people also have that right to their property to have it clean and how they want it. So if they get a nuisance raccoon, possum, or cat, they can trap it and bring it to the shelter, or we even pick up.
Well, now that we're talking about cats,
Yes.
it's going to be cat season soon.
Yes.
You guys usually have some type of special. Tell us about that.
We typically, when we have a high volume of kittens, we'll work in conjunction with the Humane Society and we'll vote. And we typically will run a special for $30. It doesn't mean we give them away. They still have to undergo a screening application to make sure they're going into a good home. But we're actually running a special right now, not because we have a lot of kittens, but we had a lot of people give up adult cats in 1 month. So we're running a special on that. And it helps. 90% of them get adopted through our PetSmart venue on veterans. And so we move about 8
adopted from
cats
there
a
before.
week. Yeah, it's nice. So occasionally we will run that special, and that's a decrease from the typical $80 adoption fee.
Okay. Is there anything else going on at the shelter? I know there's a lot. Is there anything else you want to highlight, cover?
We have a really caring staff, and they are, besides interested in the welfare of the animals, they are definitely on board with welcoming our community because it's really their shelter. So whenever anyone has any ideas, we take them and we try to run with it if it's going to be a betterment for the shelter. And we do. We have a lot going on, and you highlighted the big things, but we're always looking to progress.
We mentioned in this interview how supportive the community is of the things you guys are doing. What's the best way for someone to get involved? Following the Facebook page, the website, or do they just give you a call?
Facebook's great. We post and we keep up with that page. About 4 of us man it, so it's very up to date. Lost animals, people will send us pictures, and so many animals find their way home
Yeah, I've
through that
seen it.
venue.
Yeah.
We have about 5,500 followers now. It was about 4,000 10 months ago, so it grows daily. For people that tell me they don't use Facebook, our website, you keep up to date. They can email me. They can call me.
You can always call.
And then every Wednesday, 10:15, no appointment needed. It's a standing appointment for anybody. Just come in, and I try to be available for training.
Awesome. Well, look, thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
on with me today.
Thanks so much.
Look for the entire episode at www.scptoday.com or on SCP TV.